Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The opinions of hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the opinion of this network.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. This is Ghost Talk with 187 PI. Sit back and prepare yourselves for an adventure into the paranormal world with host Shelley Robertson and 187 PI research team. Ghost Talk is broadcasting live from Ohio's most haunted jail. Learn about their ongoing research at the jail and abroad, investigation techniques, and their personal encounters. Here is your host of Ghost Talk and 187 PI founder, Shelley Robertson.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Talk Radio. With me is your host, Shelley Robertson, and tonight is going to be a really fun show. I have Rhonda here in the office jail studio. We are live from the Old Paulding Jail. She's with me. She's a team member. And special guests tonight are my show producer, Kat Hobson, and Lori Dorsey, a really great friend of mine. And they recently, folks, this is so exciting. They recently went on a haunted tour of Scotland, and I am so excited to live vicariously through them and hear all about it. Welcome, Kat and Lori. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Today, I can't tell you. Today has actually been a very great day.
Yay.
Except it has. I found parts for the hearse. I'm so excited.
Wow. That's going to be cool.
I've had some soap orders. I've sold some tickets. It's just been a really great day. Except for, before we get into Scotland, I got to tell you what happened to me tonight. Okay, so, I stay at the jail, and this afternoon I felt, kind of tired because I've been working both ends of the spectrum, and I decided to take a nap. And, ghosts here at the jail, there's a rule. You don't come in my sleeping room, and for the most part,
Absolutely.
I get no activity in my sleeping room, right?
Right.
So I go in there. My bed needed the sheets changed out. I changed the sheets out in my bed, and I turn on my TV, and I think I'm going to take a nap, and I hear rapping on my closet door, and I'm like, what's going on? So I thought, we get bats in the building. I thought maybe I got a bat in the closet, and I just didn't see it when I got my linen out, right? So I flipped the light on, and then I see, just zigging and zagging all through my room, two transparent orbs that were, I saw them with my eyes, a little bit bigger than the size of a nickel. And they had a dark outline on the orb, and they're, transparent looking. They're just going everywhere. And then I saw, it was misty, but it looked like a waft of like smoke go through the room. And I'm like, somebody, and I heard more knocking on the closet. So I'm like, somebody has not got the memo. You do not.
You got a new spirit.
Yeah.
You cannot be coming in my sleeping room.
Gonna say you need to run the rules past him again.
Yeah. So that was a little unexpected.
How long has it been since that happened?
That happened today.
No, but I mean, how long has it been since someone else was in your sleeping quarters? Because they all know that rule.
Yeah.
Never.
That's what I thought.
And so I'm like, I'm talking to Jenna and I'm talking to Mel because they're, mediums with the spirits. And I'm like, what are you guys getting from this? Who is it? What are they wanting? And I'm like, they're definitely breaking the rules around here.
Yep.
Yep.
So I took my nap with the light on so I could see what was going on.
You know,
Lay the law down.
you slay me because you are fearless everywhere else in that jail. And you are so, I mean, because when I'm sleeping across the hall from your sleeping quarters, they're in there all night. But I have a rule. They can be there, but I better not hear them. They better not wake me up.
Yeah.
I don't even
they
want
follow
to
that.
in there.
Yeah, that's what I tell them too. I don't care if you're there, just don't bother me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even want them in there. It's like kind of
Well, it's your space.
well,
And
yeah.
Cheryl in chat says, "Give that ghost a timeout."
They need a timeout, rapping on the closet and everything, and I'm like, you know what? This is no good.
You're gonna have to go if you can't, and that's what you should just say. You're gonna have to go if you can't follow the rules. They are not difficult rules.
Yeah, I mean, because I think like when you sleep, you're at your most vulnerable. You know what I mean?
You are.
And you know I'm a control nut, so I have no control when I'm
No.
sleeping. So I don't want them in there. You know.
I'm shocked you said that.
I had no
You
idea
what?
that she was that way. Did you?
No.
She shocked, Rhonda. She shocked I'm a control nut. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
But, well, did you get a good nap in?
I did get my nap in with the light on.
Hey, do you have privates tonight?
I have privates in the building tomorrow night and Sunday night.
Okay.
So none tonight. And I was like, well, I mean, we got a con coming up at Indiana State Sanitarium
Oh.
next weekend. So we're up here. You know, I am the mad soap scientist right now. But
Man, I can't wait to get my hands on it.
oh
I can't
my gosh.
smell it.
The thing is, it's selling already. And I'm
Yeah.
like, my protection soap on the ropes are gone. And so I got to make more. I have none for the con now. So, yeah.
The kitchen
Wow.
looks like a lab.
The kitchen looks like a lab right now here at the jail.
It's a good thing you got that stove, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm telling you.
That's funny.
So, enough about all the fun I'm having over here. Let's talk about the fun you guys had. I'm so excited to hear it.
Well, it was fantastic from the spirit side.
Yeah.
I think that my favorite part was the first day that everybody was there together before the tour started. Don't you think so, Lori?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I have to tell you that Lori and I may be a YouTube sensation.
Oh, is that right?
Well, we were both going through Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I was on the ground, and I shot her a text, and because she said, I'm on the ground in Atlanta. I said, what gate are you at? Or what gate are you going to? She was 2 gates up from me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow. So I went up there and
Ran.
and we were hugging and we went down.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny. But because we've both been sitting for a good while. But, you know, and we both do super hugs, right? So down to the ground we went. It was a hoot.
Yeah. And we were
But-
laughing hard. People were looking at us like, what is happening?
People always look at us.
Well, I know.
But we're just a smidge nutty every so often. But then when we
Okay,
got
so-
to
How long was that flight? I'm not to interrupt, but how long was the flight?
total, mine was about 10 to 11 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Because I flew to Atlanta no, I took the shuttle to Atlanta, and then my flight went to Amsterdam, and I had like 20 minutes to catch my flight to Edinburgh, and I made it. You should have seen me. Mario Andretti would have sure been proud because I would have beat his car.
I I was lucky. I got JFK straight to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was about flying out was about 6 hours out. It was seven and a half coming back. I did a straight shot flight back, so it wasn't too bad. It was just a long time sitting on the flight, But I made it. Made some friends.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to talk to the passengers if you're sitting there that long with them.
Well, my seatmate decided that he was going to commit alcohol abuse.
Uh-oh.
So the only alcohol I've ever been sick from is Jack Daniels.
And
he had a Jack and Coke that wound up in my lap.
Oh no!
And I was like, I'm going to beat you. I don't even know your name. So fortunately, I had my carry-on, and I had another pair of jeans and another green shirt. It looked like I hadn't even changed. But
my gosh,
my stewards were excellent. They got me into the first-class bathroom so that I'd have more room to change and get the smell of the Jack off of me. So it was
disconcerting.
Interesting. But I had great service the rest of the flight.
Oh, I'm sure.
And the guy was just like mortified because when he did it, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really? And it had to be, I said, if that had been Glenfiddich, you would not have spilled that drink. So, but it was funny in retrospect. It wasn't very much at the time.
No.
But the people on the aisle from me were from Pensacola.
Wow.
So it's a small world out there, folks.
Yeah, the guy that was across from me was from Ohio.
That's wicked cool. Well, you're going on a straight flight to Ohio. That's cheating.
I did run into going over there. He was based out of Cleveland.
Cool.
His company was based out of Cleveland, and he was telling me where I needed to do and where I needed to go. I said thanks.
Worked out.
Well,
we see Cheryl Plum in the Spreaker chat. I'll give a shout out to Cheryl Plum. Hi.
Absolutely. Hello.
Miss you, girl. You're going to have to come back to jail sometime.
Hey, I got a question for both of you ladies.
What you got?
What was the best part of your trip?
The first day when we went and found a pub to have our lunch in, and they had banana ice cream with clove in it.
Banana with clove?
Yeah. It was so good. Lori went back to go get some before she left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just don't know. That sounds like an odd combination. Wow.
Right? It was the bomb.com. And I didn't know it had it in it until I took a bite. But that's when we were having our day just to ourselves with Rick McCullum, and he was our tour guide through Edinburgh. And it was we went everywhere. We went up the Royal Mile. We went where we ate was on Victoria Street. We went around the Edinburgh Castle. We went to the Prince's Garden, and there was a fountain there that Lori just loved, and bagpipers.
Yep.
And just about everywhere you went, there were spirits.
Yeah.
So,
and talking about Small World, Cheryl in chat said that when she went, that because she went on the trip with y'all, and she met a guy that went to the same elementary school that she did. She met him on the Loch Ness cruise.
Wow. Wow. That is so cool.
How crazy
I'm telling you never know who you're going to run up on. You don't know what you're going to run up on either, so you have to be careful. But,
what was the first close we went through? We walked. Rick wanted to do that the first thing. That close, was that Mary's King's Close?
Oh, the Mary's King, the real Mary King Close.
Yeah, that right behind our hotel.
Well, we didn't go through the close. We just went up that massive staircase.
Yeah.
And that put us out there.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was.
And your guys' trip was like, what, 9 days or something?
It was.
10 days?
It was 9 days.
9 days, and then I took an extra 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm envious. The extra 10, that'd be life, nice, right?
Yeah.
Well, that had to be the best part because we were quite disorganized on our tour.
Yeah.
And the itinerary kept changing. But it's like you get to spend an hour and a half in St. Andrews plus 30 minutes to get lunch, but if you're not back, we're leaving you.
Yeah.
So, and we've got Hey Girl Hey in our chat.
Mikey.
Hey Mikey.
Hi Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Hey, I got some love spell gonna be coming to you. I'm telling you. I'm putting this spa kit together for you. It's gonna have all the parts. You're gonna love it.
He is gonna love it because he just loves everything. He's the nicest man.
I'm telling you, Cheryl and Mikey been to the jail recently when Rick was here, and my gosh, I just love them.
They were nice. We thought a lot about them.
Oh yes, love them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Mikey had the idea of soap on a rope for the jail. And
he is a creative genius.
Oh my gosh, I told him he had some other ideas too, and I'm like, I need you. I need you here.
Relocate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I need you here. When can you come back? Can you just stay for a while?
Well, I tell you, they were such good people to investigate with because
they're so fun and so good at what they do.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just real impressed with their practices. When we got to where we were supposed to stay, the first few nights, we couldn't stay there because there had been a fire and water damage back in 2000 and it wasn't ready. But it was so cool because we actually got to do an investigation.
Yep.
Our first night with
Where
some of the hotel staff.
Where was that investigation at?
It was Erith Castle.
Oh my!
It's a 14th century castle.
Yeah, but before we got there, we got to go down to a cemetery.
Yes.
A local went down, and
that was freaky for you, wasn't it, Lori?
And guess what, y'all? This is so exciting, and I can't wait to hear more. But we have to take a small break.
It's not time.
You are listening to Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM-DB, and we'll be back after this short break.
I guess we're going to break.
Okay.
All right.
Warning, the following message does not necessarily reflect the views of WBHM-DB or its hosts, guests, listeners, or of any functioning adult in general. In fact, Frank should probably seek professional help. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi there, Frank Lee here. I thought that I would spend a few moments telling you about the positivity from the network here. The overall message of para-unity and happiness, and how everyone here wants to get along with everyone out there, and how everything is just wonderful. Wait, Kat's not looking. Okay, I've got something to really tell you.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what's really going on. Honestly, all that being nice and positive crap was kind of hurting my soul, as dark as it is. So, what's really happening? Well, you see it all the time. Everybody and their brother out there has a paranormal team because they watch a couple of episodes of Ghost Hunters or some crap like that. So they go and they spend half their mortgage payment on tools and things that light up that they don't understand. And then the next logical step after buying matching black t-shirts and posing like 90s rappers for their Facebook page is to to, of course, have their own podcast. Well, you know what? You're not going to find that crap here. What we have here at WBHM Digital Broadcasting is the best host, the best guest, bringing you real information. All of the hosts here on this network know their stuff. They are the people who have been out there doing the work, doing actual research. And no, by research, I don't mean binge watching some kind of cheesy TV show on Netflix. I mean reading books. I mean out in the field doing the legwork. And who are they interviewing on their shows? They're bringing you the people they have learned from. They're bringing you the best in the field, covering all kinds of topics from UFOs and aliens to Bigfoot to cryptozoology to ghosts to anything you can think of a bit strange and unexplained. It is here, and you're going to get the best information here. So stay tuned to WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Don't go anywhere. Speaking of going somewhere, I've got to go before my mic gets cut. We'll see you there on WBHM-DB.
Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. And tonight we're just having a good time. I have Rhonda in the live jail office studio here at the Old Paulding Jail with me tonight. And I have Lori Dorsey, who's a great friend and a fantastic investigator. And of course, my show producer, Kat Hobson. They are telling us all about their... You are my great friend. Oh my gosh. Let's correct all of this. These are all
I'm just
my
picking
best
on you just
friends.
a little bit
These
there.
are my,
you know I love you.
These are all my best friends. And I mean, you know, they're like family. Even Rhonda's my real family. And then
she is.
And then, you know, Kat and Lori are they're my non-blood family.
And proud of it.
Yes.
That's right. And they recently got to go on, you know, if you missed the first segment, they got to go on a Haunted Scotland tour with Rick McCullum of the Hollywood Ghost Hunters. And they are telling us about the fantastic things that happened on the trip. And we've got Mikey Thompson and Cheryl Plum. They're in the Spreaker chat. They were on this tour as well. And oh my gosh, they are great investigators, some really good people. And Lori may have had, you know, an extraterrestrial encounter. Tell us about that, Lori.
Well, we were coming, several of us had walked down to a local cemetery, and I had taken my SLS camera with me, of course. I always have it with me. And it kept shutting off, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. So finally I got aggravated enough, plus the little midgy bugs were flying in my face and ears. And so I just told everybody, I said, I'm heading back. I can't get the camera to work. And they said, okay. They said that they would be coming soon. I said, okay. So I have bad knees and feet, so I have to take my time to get back. So I'm walking, and all of a sudden I hear footsteps behind me, you know, and of course I start talking, you know. I, you know, tell them I'm not sure what's going on with this camera. It just keeps shutting off. I've got to figure out what's happening. And I just keep talking. And all of a sudden I realize nobody's responding to me. So I stop and turn around. There is no one beside me. There's no one, nothing. And I kind of went, well, that's weird. And
Yeah.
I keep walking, and then there's 3 or 4 of them from the group pass me and go on around. And I said, you guys just go ahead and go. I've got a flashlight. I can see. Just go ahead. And Christine who's with the group, turns around and takes a picture of me, you know, and the moon was behind her. So she took a picture of me with my flashlight to prove that I was still alive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. And then when we get back to, Christine sent me the picture, and lo and behold, up in the sky, there's a really bright light that when you kind of enlarge it, it is like a cupcake. It looked like a cupcake. And I kind of went, weird. And then Kat looks at the picture and says, "Do you see the other stuff?" And I said, "What other stuff?"
Right.
To the
That
side.
great big thing right there.
Yeah, it was a great, like, craft thing over on the other side.
It was.
And I kind of went, no, I did not see that. Because everybody kept saying, well, it's the moon coming up. No, the moon was behind or in front of me. This is behind me.
Yeah, because when Christine took the picture, the light was on your front.
Yeah, on my face. And this craft thing was lit up behind me.
Behind you.
Yeah.
And it was the cupcake wasn't that terrifying because, you know, it's a cupcake.
Yeah, it looked like
the larger vehicle was a
Yeah.
little.
But did at any point did you guys experience any missing time or anything like that?
No.
No.
The best
Lori
way
was in somebody's vision that whole time because I was coming behind her.
and
And
she had
they were in front of her.
a desperate need to get up there with me. Kat told me, she said, for some reason I had to get up here. Something told me I needed to get up here.
Well, thank God she did. You could have been
Yeah.
abducted.
And that was before we saw it. I mean,
Yeah.
It was very odd.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, like Rhonda just said, you're lucky. Maybe there could have been an abduction or something.
I don't
That's
know.
what we thought. I mean, it was walking with her.
Something.
No missing time or anything like that.
Nope.
Wow.
It was just. It was, the energy was weird. That's the only best way I can describe
Lori, it was wanting to watch the screen on your SLS.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I kept off. I don't know.
And they're like,
But-
what is this? What is this
this?
gadget?
What is this strange magic this human is holding?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the odd part of it was all my settings were changed on my camera.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I never touched the settings. Once I set it the way I want it, I never touch it again.
Yeah.
And they were all changed when I got back to the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that is not surprising to me because we experience up here at the jail, they take over your SLS up here.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They do.
I mean, they'll
It's
make it so she can't record
Mhm.
areas.
Yep.
I mean,
So, yeah, it was that was the first night.
wow.
That
So
was
you started off with a bang.
Yeah. And then we went to Erith Castle and did an investigation there that evening. I had got back and changed clothes, and Kat comes in. She said, change your clothes. We're going to do an investigation in Erith. I said, well, hang on. I had to jump my
It did
clothes.
not take her long.
No.
We
If
were
you're going
we were getting it.
Yep. It was midnight.
Okay, so did you get some great things at Erin Castle?
We
Yep.
did.
Yes. I got some remarkable SLS footage.
I got some great EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it was just, and I wasn't really expecting to get them,
Mm-mm.
you know, because
You're gonna
it was
have
like
to clip them out and share.
I
You-
will.
Okay, listen. I got a question now. Okay, so you're in Scotland, and obviously the people have an accent different from United States, right?
a bit.
Are the EVPs? Do they have an accent?
Yes.
Oh my god! I gotta hear them.
Did.
I mean, that's who they are, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I'm going to be any less Southern when I die, much to some people's
Right.
chagrin, probably.
So yeah, you're gonna have to share one of them with us so we can hear them.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
They're not on this computer, but I will.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
But I'll
yeah,
put some up. I'll give you some that you can put up, and then I'll put some up. I'll be putting them up on my page too. But it was really weird because some of the energy in that castle was so positive. Like when we were first in the room with the red chairs, and it was dancing near me on the other chair.
It was like a child up on the table.
Yeah. And I was just like...
Because me, I had my music going. And they really like Elvis.
They do. I think that's
They like
universal.
Elvis.
They did.
Well, there's not that many global sensations. Certainly not in that era.
Right. And it seems like everybody liked Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was right
yes.
outside the bar room, I caught a figure sitting in the chairs. There was a room full of chairs where they did weddings right outside the bar room. And I caught a figure there. And I said, well, do you want to hear some music? And the minute I turned Elvis on, his foot started tapping.
Yep.
And he started swaying his head. I was playing all kinds of Elvis. They loved it. They loved it. It was amazing. I thought,
it's such a great thing because Lori has been really good with, just to let everybody know out there, she's the one that started playing music for the spirits up here at the jail. And that's how we found out, truly, that they love it.
Oh, yeah.
They love it everywhere we go, though.
Yeah,
I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what we're finding. We're finding that in depth that everyone is still connecting with music. You know what I mean?
Yep. Definitely.
So,
and if they were in that era
out there, if you haven't tried it, do a little research on the place where you're going and try to pick some music from a time period or somebody that's, worldwide popular, that made an impact, such as Elvis. Elvis is always a good one, and Johnny Cash is another good one.
Yep.
Michael Jackson is a good one too, as far as the time period and a global figure.
Yeah,
I've gotten results with Michael Jackson.
A lot of good response. And all you other investigators out there, I know it sounds wacky, but we've had the spirits jump in and sing along with the tunes. Is that not right, Lori?
Yep.
I mean, they love the music.
Yeah, they were finishing the sentences on the songs. And I remember looking at you because you had the ghost box going. And I said, did you hear that? They're singing along with the music.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really crazy. Crazy amazing.
If you're at a place and you're not getting a whole lot,
turn on the
run the music, and I guarantee you're going to be getting stuff after that.
I did that at Mansfield, and I always.
And that was a 30-minute dance session.
Yes, it was.
But I'll tell you what, the air in that area got heavier as the time went by. And I still don't understand why that happened. In the administrative section of the building, Shelley?
Yeah.
Where the stairwells were.
Right.
But it started on a stairwell. And then we came up to the landing, and it just kept on and kept on. It was and it lasted a good 30 minutes.
Oh,
and you're talking about
right in front of her.
You're talking about Mansfield, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
That's a really incredible place too.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
I think they'll also tell you if they don't like the music.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think there'd be no doubt. But what I didn't think about when we didn't really get much chance to actually investigate while we were over there.
Yeah.
Not for real investigations. We got a couple of, hour and a half daylight things. But
Yeah.
anyway, I would have, and I didn't think about it, but to play some Highland jigs and stuff. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think when we were at Balgony, that might have been a lot of fun in the great room.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
oh,
had
but I got that transparent picture.
Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
It is crazy, and I've had two different photography experts, including the guy that looks at all the MUFON imagery, and he was like, "Well, this is doing this because of light coming here." I said, "She's transparent. You can see the frame of the window through her.
Yeah.
Right.
Real
Nothing
person.
is going to cause that."
Mm-mm.
And
She
the rest
was
of her was solid as could be.
Yeah.
But the woman's head, you could see the window frame through.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
Yeah. It's bizarre.
it is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was it when we were at Inverary
Inverary.
jail?
Mm-hmm.
Rick and I had a weird thing happen. We were coming out of the courtroom, coming down the stairs, and Rick was in front of me, and he was on the ground outside. And you know me, I got to take my time. And I had hold of the rail, and all of a sudden, it sounded like these heavy boot steps running right behind me from the courtroom, coming right down the stairs, and I could feel the vibration. So I'm bracing myself with the handrails, and Rick hears it, turns around, and goes into a fight stance, like he's going to smack whoever's coming down the steps. Because he was afraid something was, was going to knock me down, and he was going to take him out. And I stopped and braced myself, and then it just stopped. Nothing came. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
your face when you were describing that, though, was, you could
holy
tell
crap.
it freaked you out.
Yeah.
And where was this at?
Inverary. We were at the Inverary jail.
And
Okay.
courthouse and jail. Because there was a courtroom we were just coming out of, and that's where Mike got the EVP of murder.
Yeah.
Murder. Oh.
Charged with murder.
I think he was asking what were you charged with.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of mannequins and stuff in there.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a little freaky. I mean, seriously. These mannequins, it's like, what is happening? And then
they got him set up like in the courtroom or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wow.
had like the people of the town sitting in the viewer seats, and then
are you sure the insides of the mannequins were just mannequins and not?
we stayed in there with them for a little bit.
Yeah, stayed in there, and there was two people in there doing a flashlight session, and they were getting responses.
Incredibly.
Yeah,
they were getting direct responses.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, K2s also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. But after they left, not too much went on after that. Not after those two left. We got a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And we just kind of roamed around because we only had like an hour and a half in there. So we were trying to hit all the spots that we could, to at least see if we get. I mean, my SLS footage, I really didn't get much in there. I think they got more EVPs than I got SLS footage. I didn't get much.
Cheryl in chat, she just said that we got the name Owen, and she asked what his crime was, and the ghost said murder, and Mikey looked up Owen in the computer, and he found a few, and they kept getting O'Hare, and there was an Owen O'Hare, so wow.
Yeah, you could actually check for your ancestors.
Yeah, they had a computer.
Wow.
They had good archives.
Yeah, I found out I had three 3 in jail.
3 Pattersons that have passed through the Inverary
Yeah.
jail.
Inverary jail.
Rick had a lot.
had
I had
5.
none.
Rick had 5. I had 3.
I had a lot of do-gooders in my family. They were probably the ones that judged y'all's.
Well, and when you think about do-gooders, here is a funny thing, and not to interrupt, but you're talking about the ancestry and stuff. What I found out when looking up some of the ancestry on my side of the family up here, there was lots of clergymen.
And your dad is.
And my dad is too. Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty crazy, huh? Stuff
That
to
is
find
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when we stayed at the Stagecoach Inn, there's Cheryl, Kat, and I, we got settled in for the night, and something was pounding on the wall.
Yes.
And I was too tired, or I would have gotten up and say, okay, what is going on?
Did you guys run a voice recorder?
No. We were asleep.
We were so tired. We just went to bed. So I got up the next day because Kat was saying, well, maybe there's a fire escape and somebody got locked out and was knocking on the door trying to get back in.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me go out there. So I went out, went down the hallway where the wall was at that was getting knocked on, and there was 2 rooms and they were both locked.
Wow.
There was no way anybody was coming outside and knocking on the wall. And then there was several people had experiences in the hotel, different things. Somebody was doing like a Ouija board thing, and it got
with Nathan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nathan was a psychic from England who was on the tour.
Yeah.
And Christine and Kathleen were experimenting with that.
Yeah. And that is, I want to hear a little bit about that, but guess what time it is? It's time to take our little break. So you're listening to Ghost Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after this short message. Ghost Talk Radio on WBHM-DB.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experienced Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio. With me is your host, Shelley Robertson, and in the live jail office studio. I have Ronda Trammell with me tonight. She is a member of the 187PI research team, and our special guests are Lori Dorsey, a good friend of mine, fabulous investigator, and Kat Hobson, fabulous investigator, good friend of mine, plus my show producer. So if y'all missed the first part of the show, you can listen to the show archives on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, basically whatever you're subscribed to, I'm sure we're there. And tonight we've been talking about, they recently went to Scotland for a 9-day haunted tour. And they're telling us about all of the fabulous places that they went to. And I'm just like in awe. And it's exciting to hear about all of the places they went to. And I did have a question I was thinking about during the break. When you were visiting the cemeteries there, did you find, because there's a lot of controversy, people will say cemeteries aren't haunted, blah blah blah, but let me tell you my experiences with cemeteries, and I have not been to Scotland, but do you find that cemeteries were haunted?
That what?
The cemetery.
Did you find the cemeteries to be haunted over there?
Yes.
I was gonna say there was you could always feel like you were being watched. I personally never saw anything, but you know how you get that, like somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
I definitely got that in a lot of the old cemeteries that I went through.
I mean, because I saw some amazing pictures you posted of some of those. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, their cemeteries are a lot different than ours. Wow.
Fancy.
Well,
yeah.
They were landed gentry for the most part, the people that were out there doing that. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool.
And then at Roslyn, when I went down and did a short investigation down there at night, and I did get something standing at the gate watching me. It was standing there like, what are you doing here? And the gate was closed. It responded.
You got the gatekeeper, Lori.
I guess. I don't know. We didn't stay down there for a long time, but I did catch a figure up in the tree, like it was watching what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
What I was, it was just keeping an eye, because I don't know how many investigators that go down through there. And down when we went to the Roslyn Castle, because it's the ruins. But I'll tell you what, it has the most mystical vibe you've ever been. It is.
Wow.
It is.
It's metaphysical.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not just a haunting.
No, it's so much more than that. It almost took your breath.
Well, the forest around it too, because you had to go. Well, to get down to the cemeteries, you had to go down this incredibly steep hill, and then when you turned to pick a cemetery to go into, there was a path, and that path led out to the creek, because I don't think it was big enough to really be a river at that point.
Right.
And then there were stone arched supports for this bridge. And then you're standing in front of this really tall ruin, and that was Roslyn Castle.
Mm-hmm. The gate into Roslyn Castle, yeah.
Yeah, and then behind that, there were some arched stables. Mm-hmm. And I had gone around behind the stables into the forest to try to do a session there.
Yeah.
And because basically I just kept my recorder running, which is why it takes me so long to do my replays, because there's a lot to go through at one sitting. But it was just crazy how the forest was alive.
It's hard to describe. It really is hard to Right.
I've never felt energy that ancient.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's what this was. It was
And
just.
yeah. And the Roslyn Chapel was
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
It was beautiful. It was just, it'd take your breath if you stood there. It took
Yep.
the only place it took my breath when I was there was at the harbor at St. Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
That my breath. I was almost in tears because it was just, it stirred my soul. That's how deep it went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
got a question for you guys. What was the most startling thing that happened while you were there, would you say?
Getting dumped in a hotel room.
We're gonna go there.
But we can't talk about that because
We
that's.
can't talk about that one.
Yeah. I think for me, the most startling was probably. That's deep. I think the Danino Den.
Yeah, I didn't go because my feet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't go down into the den, but I was where the blood sacrifice little pool thing was.
Yeah.
And the energy there was.
I can only imagine what that was like.
I don't really have words to describe that. I'm glad I didn't go down into the den.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm not always. I am a sensitive. I do know things that I'm not supposed to know sometimes. And this one was just like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
wow.
And then I turned around.
Think about it though. If it was a blood sacrifice place, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And see, I didn't know that at the beginning because I was walking with Lori coming down.
Yeah.
And, if they had discussed that prior to us getting there, I missed it. But I'm standing there and I'm just like, so, you know how I get when I'm getting something, when I get antsy? And
it's kind of overwhelming, was it?
It was overwhelming, but I knew that there was something around me. I just didn't know what. And, I wished that I had brought a set of Tibetan Buddha, the Buddhist flags with me, because I felt like that area probably needed something that peaceful.
Yeah.
Cheryl says that the den seemed peaceful to her, and I'm sure it was, because people didn't have their blood let out of them and die, down there. But it was just like, snap. I'm really uncomfortable, but I dealt with it pretty well. I mean, it wasn't like freaky, got to run away kind of a thing. It was just like, man, there's some weird crap that went down here.
I was up in the woods area, and was walking around me.
Yeah.
I didn't see any animals, and I looked like crazy, but something was coming toward me. I could feel something walking toward me. I could hear it, but I didn't see anything.
Do you think it thought that we had abandoned you? That you were vulnerable?
Know. It could have been. I just around and left the woods, and I started heading back toward the bus because I just got that feeling like, get your ass out of there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was not a good feeling.
No.
Yeah, not a good feeling.
No, not at all.
Okay, so I've got to touch on something. You guys went somewhere that I was really obsessed with as a kid. I read everything I could about it, and I always, was interested in everything, like even coming up as a teenager and early 20s and stuff. You see the articles about it, and I just I was a sucker for the National Enquirer when it was on the cover and everything. Let's talk about Loch Ness for a minute.
I didn't go to Loch Ness. That was not part of our tour.
You didn't go there?
No.
Okay, it must have been Cheryl and Mikey's pictures, but I am telling you, I was like, wow, did they get anything there?
Well,
You
Lori
know?
went. Lori went and spent the day in the
Did
area.
you get anything, Lori? Tell me about it. You got to tell me about it.
Well, no, we went out on the boat. I got the boat tour along with us, and I can honestly say I could see why something would be able to hide for centuries there, because the water is literally black.
No kidding. Wow.
You cannot see anything. And the only way you would see something is if it surfaced. I mean, it could be almost to the surface and you'd never see it because it's almost like coal. It's so black.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, that, when they say that, you can't see anything. It's that dark. It's that black. And it's
Why is it so dark?
I don't know. They said it was something to do with the moss and the oxygen, and when the boat would churn up the water, it was almost kind of a really dark green.
Like it mixed it up, like it brought it all to the surface.
Yeah, they just said it's oxygen filled, but it was so black. I mean, it was just so.
But what did it feel like? Did it feel like a magical place or something like that? Because I just feel like that area is just like a magical place.
I was. Everybody went up to the top, and me, I stood down at the bottom, and I was just hanging out over the side of the boat because I wanted to look out and see everything. And there's a castle ruins over to the side. I can't remember the name of it. Starts with a U. Anyway, I could have went through the ruins and stuff and then got on the boat, but I wanted to just do the boat. I didn't want to go through the ruins because all my people that helped me left.
Oh my gosh. Mikey's back in chat now. He said he took some rocks from Loch Ness, and he said he'll give me a couple when he sees me. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Because I tell you what, I have been so obsessed since I've been a little kid about, Loch Ness and Finding Nellie and all that. And still, if I see something, pass in a news feed or an article or something on social media or something, I got to read it. I'm like, did they catch it? Did they see it? What's going on? I don't know. It's just been really fascinating. And when I look at the pictures of the area and stuff, it just seems so like
it's
magical,
I did a video and I was going along and I said, holy crap, I'm on Loch Ness in a boat sailing in Scotland.
Oh my gosh. That is like a fantastic.
Yeah.
That had to be a fantastic experience. It would be for me, I'm telling you.
Go through the Highlands again, because that was the second trip I got to go through the Highlands. I absolutely love the Highlands. And our guide showed us the inspiration of Hagrid's hut in Harry Potter thing.
I was so thrilled when you sent me that.
Oh, it was so cool. He goes, they had to tear it down when they filmed it, but there was the original rock formation that uses the inspiration for Hagrid's hut.
Wow.
It's just so beautiful. And now that I watch Harry Potter, I see so much now of Scotland in Harry Potter. It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should be ashamed or whatnot, but I watched all the Harry Potter stuff.
I love Harry Potter.
I know that show was so good. I watched a lot of it, almost all of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But my favorite place in the whole wide world was it's a toss up between Roslyn and St. Andrews, but St. Andrews has a Roslyn beat to me because both places are magical. Both places are absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
But being right on the ocean, right there at St. Andrews, it's amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Stare out at the North Sea, and you can see the clouds roll across, and it's just it brought tears to my eyes.
And can you just imagine? Just imagine for a moment living back in the time when that castle and when those places were built.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you could feel the history around you. I mean, seriously.
Oh, I'm sure you can. And that's some of the times when I go to different places and you just look at it and the architecture is so amazing for its time period and everything. And it's still amazing today, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because architecture is pretty plain today, if you ask me.
I think
and
so,
they're
too.
so ornate back then, you know, and they took their time. And
all by hand.
Oh, yeah.
All by hand.
And I think about, oh, my gosh, imagine what it would be like, you know, and I roll the scenarios through my mind a little bit on what it would be like to be there during that time period. Because I tell you what, I often think, and I don't know if you guys ever get these feelings, but I often think I was from a whole nother time period. Like, I picture myself in like, you know, like the Victorian era, maybe in France. That's my thing, you know. I love the flowers. I love the architecture. I love the coffee. I love I love everything about it.
Because it's familiar to you?
Yeah, it's exactly what it feels like. And sometimes when I see buildings that are made from that time period, it just is such a feeling come over me. You know what I mean? I can't explain it, but yeah.
Same way with, I don't know if I was there in a previous life, but it was like I was standing I was home. It was like, I think that's what
the places feel like. Oh my gosh, I just so connect with it, you know.
Yeah, I think that's why I had tears in my eyes. It was like
coming home.
Yeah, I was like, I'm home. Oh my God, I'm home. And then it started raining. So
I should have left you my raincoat.
But, you know, we had to, and we took the long way back. So I got soaked. So I can actually say I got soaked in Scotland.
Yes.
That's just fantastic, you know. And I was like, y'all take a bunch of pictures when you're there. I want to live my life through you for a moment, you know. I was so excited you guys got to go, and it looked like such an amazing trip. Now, I also have to ask you, I know me and Kat talked briefly prior to you guys going on the trip about the cuisine. So what was your favorite dish in Scotland? I mean, this is not paranormal, but I'm just curious what your favorite dish was.
Besides the banana ice cream?
Yes.
Well, I know mine. What was yours, Lori?
Mine was the steak and ale pie.
Steak and ale pie, huh?
Yeah, it was the same place that Kat got her banana ice cream.
Uh-huh.
It was so good, and the crust was so flaky. It was just really tasty. Really good. And they've got great hamburgers.
They do have great hamburgers.
They really, really do.
And I'm going to tell you that everywhere you went had gluten-free.
Yeah.
But you didn't really need gluten-free there because their method of creating breads and wheats and, you know, their food is just,
I understand, is a whole lot different than the United States. I mean,
it's cleaner.
It is. And
there was no litter. There was no litter anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cleanest place I've ever seen.
Yeah.
there's a lot of countries who won't accept our beef and won't accept accept a lot of our products. And
Well,
I've,
we shouldn't either then.
Yeah.
exactly. And I've met people who come here from Austria, and even I could see such a big difference even just in Canada,
Yeah.
and that's just really close to us. But there's many people from other countries that I have talked to that's been here, and they're like, you know what, y'all are being poisoned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I would totally agree with that. I
Mhm.
had the beef with Claret for.
Claret, what is that? What is
It's a
Claret?
really, really nice, good wine.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
it's a red. It's a deep, deep
Listen,
red.
I gotta mention this. Mikey in chat said, should I say it? He
Oh,
said
sure, because
that they had whiskey flavored condoms in the bathroom at one of the restaurants he ate
Yeah.
at.
it was our first meal. Somebody
Oh
bought
my
one.
gosh.
Yeah.
And Cheryl said she bought one.
She did.
And I told, me, I don't understand. It's like, what is happening?
Why?
Why?
And it was so funny though, because that was a cool restaurant. It
Yeah.
was a cool restaurant.
It sounds like it.
Wow.
I mean, it does.
And we tasted haggis there for the first time. Mikey and
Yeah.
Cheryl ordered it and shared it with us.
Yeah.
And what did you think of it?
I'm fine without it for the rest of my
Yeah.
days. But I did try it. But I did try it.
I did try it. It wasn't awful.
It wasn't.
I
It wasn't
would
at
not-
all what I thought.
No, I didn't either.
I thought it was
I-
going to be like a porridgey kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I couldn't do the blood pudding or the black pudding or
I didn't
I
want-
can't do that. I
No,
already know
I
I
didn't even
can't
want
do that.
yeah. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Nope, not happening. And their sauce real bland.
Not
Yeah, it
flavored
wasn't
up
sausage.
here,
It
huh?
was like not sausage.
Yeah.
it
was-
was not seasoned at all.
No.
Oh wow! I
The only-
don't
It's
know
the
if
only
I've
thing I
ever
didn't
had
like.
sausage that wasn't seasoned.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Only
Yeah.
time I got regular sausage was when I went to McDonald's at Waverly Station, and they had a McDonald's down there, and I got a sausage sandwich, and it
Yeah.
actually tasted like sausage.
Right, right.
Cheryl says no ranch.
Oh, they
But-
don't eat ranch there. They don't have ranch there.
Apparently, I never had anything I needed to order it with because I was trying.
What do they have? What do they use for sauce then? No sauce.
They had a brown sauce that they pretty much served with everything. Some kind of brown sauce.
Oh, is it gravy? Is it like a gravy?
Yeah.
They do that in Canada too. It's like a gravy.
Yeah.
And they have fried tomatoes and sautéed mushrooms for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
For
the other.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah, like vegetables.
Vegetables, yeah.
And
I mean, they
Throw some
had
eggs in my pan, I'll
eggs
be a
and
happy camper.
they had eggs and bread and stuff, but
And there was like more like Canadian bacon. It wasn't like what
yeah,
our bacon.
it was Canadian bacon,
Yeah.
or I guess
Well,
Scottish bacon.
actually, I really like Canadian bacon, and it's healthier for you. And I guess Cheryl and Mikey are saying that they had a lot of oil and vinegar based dressings there. So, well, and think about it. We are, what the United States is, and they have healthier options in other countries. I do know that, and like a vinegar and oil would be better for you, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but they also have fantastic desserts. Remember that dessert at the Cool Rose restaurant that we went to for the dinner?
Oh yes.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
like chocolate cake with caramel poured over it, and
Yeah.
it had
Oh, you
it was
say chocolate
treacle,
cake. Oh my
There.
gosh, I'm there.
and it was.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
was
I did not even care. We had spent 7 hours in this one little town,
yeah.
waiting on it to be time to have dinner. We didn't leave it. It was actually very cool.
Yeah.
But there were 2 activities that you could do, and once you did those, you were just kind of like,
Yeah,
That
there
was
wasn't much.
fun. It was just a small village, and
Well, do you remember when we were in that palace place and Rick saw that person walk when we were in the office area? Remember that? We were all standing in that
which palace?
that bright yellow one, remember? And we were all standing in that.
Sterling
No,
Castle.
Sterling. It was at Colross,
Colross.
where we were like the last group to go through it, and we were upstairs.
Oh, yes, but I didn't,
And
because that was a very small castle.
well, it was just a. I thought it was just they call it a palace. I don't know if it
Palace,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, and we were standing upstairs in office area, and she let us go in, and we were standing around, and Rick looked out and said, "Who was that?" And we all turned around, and we didn't see it, and he walked out, and he said, "I'm not kidding." He said somebody was quickly walking, and they would have walked into the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this has been great and it's been fun. And I am so happy that you guys were on the show to share your wonderful Scotland trip. And I'm happy that Mikey and Cheryl in chat shared some of their experience on the Scotland trip. And I'm going to do a brief moment here to tell y'all what's going on at the jail coming up. We are going to be next, what is it, Saturday, Rhonda?
Saturday, yes.
We are going to be at Indiana State Sanitarium Paracon next Saturday from 10 to 5. That's in Rockville, Indiana. So if you got no plans, if you're free on Saturday, be there. I mean, this is be the first Paracon there. And Adam Kimmel does a great job at organizing the cons at his locations. And come see us on Saturday, August 27th. We have a public ghost hunt here at the old Paulding Jail, and I know Lori will be coming to that. We still have some available tickets, so if you want to come and experience, I mean, I can't even tell you, it's going to be a whole nother show to talk about the new stuff that's been happening around here lately. We have a Sheriff Ed Staley, who is now
making his presence known.
Oh yeah, and he is trying to chase everybody out of the basement all the time. So we've got some new stuff going on now. And so August 27th, there's still tickets available. You can find them on our Facebook. Search us up, 187PI on Facebook, or you can find the tickets on 187pi.com. Click on events and you'll see the calendar with what's coming up. We do have, what we have opened up is one private Saturday for the rest of the year. The last one left, September 24th, has been posted today. It's on the board. So if you've been waiting, I know there's been a lot of inquiries about Saturdays. We do have one open. First come, first serve on that, folks. Saturday, September 24th. And we will be posting shortly some information on a special event coming up in September for the September 11th. I know.
I'm sorry.
And Lori, I know you're coming to that too, right, Kat?
The 9/11?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm insensitive to 9/11 because it was very tragic. And I feel for every family and every person who had to go through that tragedy, whether they're you know, in spirit or the living families. But I want to tell you that the spirits are sensitive to that as well. And we experienced this last year. And so we want to get some more clarity on the events surrounding that. They are, believe it or not, The spirits are very aware, and they mourn just like the living. I just need you to know that. And so we're going to do a special, it'll probably be posted maybe next week. And this is going to be a 2-day event, folks, because from what we got last year, we really need to do the work, do the research prior to and after for this. So it's going to be a special event. And it'll be a 2-day event. And that'll be posted with the details and stuff on that next week. So keep your eyes open. It was such an amazing investigation last year. It opened up our eyes to a lot of stuff. Wouldn't you say, Lori?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was incredible. I mean, it
gave us answers that we weren't sure of.
Yeah. And it was, it's hard to describe. It was mind blowing, because what we thought was going to happen was not even close to what went on.
Yep.
Yeah, I am all in on this because I want to see if we get the same responses as we did before.
And now that we're aware, we might even get more information too, and that's what we're hoping to get.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to interject here, because I think that one of the things that I would expect, and I know that you already have this planned, or I'm pretty sure you do, is to bring them into conversation.
Oh, yes.
Bring them into conversation before they leave that morning.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what happens.
And that's another thing, what we wanted to do. I just saw on my cameras, folks. I'm sorry. I'm just a little sad now. There's a bat loose in the first floor.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's right. Oh, my God.
Zooming around.
Oh, well, here we go. We're going to finish up this show strong and proud.
Running from the bat. Running to the bat, running from the bat. Running to the bat, running from the bat. I understand totally.
Well, so come in my office. It's getting close.
Your door's closed, right?
No,
Close your door.
Yeah, shut the door, Rhonda.
Oh my gosh, you better not come in here.
We're gonna have Rob
and tell him to come get it.
Yeah.
So, and what we're saying is, I mean, we want to see what happens the day prior.
The 10th.
Yeah. Yes. And then the 11th, and when they come back, because last year when we tried it, we just got what they came back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So we want to get the whole shebang this time, and information, and maybe we'll get even more information from some of the resident spirits on prior to leaving and stuff. And so I'm really excited for this one coming up. I really am.
We've got quite a theory running.
We do. Yeah. We do. And if this happens again this year, folks, I'm going to tell you, I will fully 100% believe that they're carrying on in the afterworld as they did in the living. Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole
doubt that at this point, though, with all that you've had experienced there?
What, Kat?
I said, do you really doubt ever that that's the case after all that you've experienced in your own jail?
Well, you always are looking for the proof. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And they travel and everything, but you don't know the gist of it. But when you hear the train, when you hear them tell you Amtrak, and you can hear the background of a train station, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing
at that time.
And
you hear the brake slide.
You could hear the train brake. You could hear Cheryl Plum in the chat says, "Run, Vincent," because of the bat. If he were here, he would be running. Yes.
Yes.
But you could hear when the train stopped and the doors open, and it's almost like,
And they were talking amongst themselves like they had like a half hour till they got off, or so long till they got off.
yeah, they told us how long till they got home, till how long their trip was going to be, like 1 hour, 2 hours, and
we said, can we get on your conversation? And then finally they said, well, yeah.
yeah, it was just, and then when they brought somebody in,
mm-hmm.
See, that's the part that when you were telling me that part slayed me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who had perished in the 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I'm telling you, folks, it
was just, I think that letting us know that's documentation, that they are carrying on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it might be a whole nother
dimension.
You go from one realm to the next is what it's feeling like. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be really, really cool if that were the case, because you feel like you have a portal there anyway.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
And, it's just, it would not surprise me, because the fact that these people come and they go,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
has always been a trip, because when I've come, it won't always be the same people where I expect them to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
And it's somebody that I wouldn't even know.
Well,
yeah, we get transients, and sometimes they don't give us their names,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, when we were there, we did that. You and I and Rick did that.
Yeah.
Kat was online, and Rick had the K2, and Kat and I were talking, and the K2 was going off.
Yeah, we were FaceTiming.
Cell block, yeah.
And the first cell block.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I said, who Kat is. And they would light it up, and she would start talking, and then they would respond to her. And Rick just stood there in shock, because he's never seen anything like that.
Well, they know me.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, it shouldn't be anything surprising. They knew me, and they know Kat. They know her energy, and they know her voice. He said,
they were actually very sweet.
Yeah. And they were setting off the K2 when we were asking questions.
Yeah.
And, it's, yeah. Your play.
I think that the reason that they did that, and that they're nice to me when I'm there, is because when I was there and had that extreme experience, and I was an instigator as much
yourself. You were beside yourself on that day.
Yeah. But I understood why they were mad, but I was mad too. So there was so much emotion between all of us.
Yeah.
And then when, Shelley, you were guiding that conversation in the kitchen with the portal, and I explained to them why I was there, that I was helping you to get their information out so that they would have their home. And remember when that man's voice changed so much, and he was like, really? And I felt like at that point, there was, if you can have a friendship with a spirit, I felt
an understanding going on then. Yeah.
And I think that's why, because they had to know how bad I wanted to be there.
Look, I'm telling you, these ghosts up here, these spirits, here's something that happened just real recently. And I know our show is running over, but I lost my recipe book. It shows up on my kitchen counter in a bag from a store I do not shop at. Me and Vincent saw it at the same time, and I'm like, what's that? I pick it up. It's my recipe book for all my soaps and stuff that I do.
Yep.
And it had been missing for 2 months. I lost it when we did the Mansfield Paracon. I left it at the hotel.
Oh,
on
no.
accident. I did, and it's my only copy. And Vincent called the hotel. Nobody turned it in. Nobody found it. And I said, well, at least I hope it went to the trash. So somebody doesn't have all my recipes, right? So, and it shows up on my kitchen counter 2 months later. And there was a receipt in the bag. It was from Kroger. I don't shop at Kroger. And the item on the receipt that was bought was called I Love You Cookies. Can you believe that?
No way.
Yes. And it
No
was dated.
way.
The receipt was dated for June 9th. It was paid for in cash. And the item was I Love You Cookies. And it was that receipt and my book was the only thing in the plastic Kroger bag. And I was like, oh my gosh. And more recently, and this happened when I get my book back not too long ago,
Yeah.
about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're up here and I'm working on bath bombs. I forget my paint brushes because certain artist brushes you can paint the colors onto
Yeah.
the molds and stuff. Well, what showed up in my desk drawer that was not there before was in a brand new package, but it looks dated. The package looks
Yeah.
very old and yellowed. A paintbrush. Yes, in my desk drawer, right on top. And I'm like, I've never seen it before. It wasn't in my desk drawer before. And I'm like, well, look at that. Well, thanks. So they're constantly looking out. But then, I look out for them too. So
You do. You do a great job.
Mm-hmm. You do.
It's just so amazing. And so I'll probably keep this here paintbrush in its wrapper forever and ever now. Yeah.
I would have kept the receipt for the I Love You cookies
Yeah, I would have too.
because
And
that was just so
Vincent
sweet.
was like, Vincent kind of freaked out. He's like, oh my God, that was not there. He said, when did you put that there? I said, I didn't do it. We both saw it at the same time. I don't shop there. And he was like,
I've
I
never
don't
heard of
even-
I Love You cookies. Okay.
I never heard of them either. And I tried to search them up on the internet to see if I could find some. No, I don't find any I Love You cookies. So
Get out.
I was like,
Gosh.
okay. And I was like, I don't know which one of you brought this book back, but oh my God.
I love you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I know. It's just, wow.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, in this instance, with your spirits there, they want relationships.
They do. They interact.
And that's how they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you're getting all this other stuff happening because the word is out
Yeah.
discreetly.
Mhm.
Because I don't want just anybody coming in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a rule here, and I'm pretty sure the sheriff's on board with it.
Yeah.
You have to be respectful. We welcome everybody who needs a place to go, all the spirits. I don't care who you are. But you must be respectful. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not respectful, then of course you're not going to be welcome here. But and I think that's why we get so many transients and so much new stuff happening, and
Mm-hmm.
because we welcome it. Where some people might, and that's a rule here. You ain't no sage, no holy water, no sending nobody to the light. Because I'm going to tell you something. The bulk, maybe not 100%, but the bulk of the spirits that are running around, they're doing it because they want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
They want to be wherever they are. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's
Have
what
you
I'm
ever-
finding.
Have you ever asked them about dimensions? I mean,
I
just had a
haven't had.
conversation
I
with them
haven't
about it.
had. I haven't had really big conversations with them on that. But that's a good concept. That's really something I could probably talk to him about, because I talk to him about all kinds of stuff up here. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just.
I mean, I know that's why I was just curious if that had come up.
It hasn't really, but I mean, now that you talk about that, I think I will maybe ask him some stuff because, like, I've got a handful of spirits that talk to me all the time. You know, if I talk to them, they'll talk to me. They'll respond every time. You know,
Right.
and that's a good conversation right there, I guess.
Well, I'm going to let people know that they are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, and this is Ghost Talk Radio. So
Yes.
there we go.
And
got that business done.
Yes, and normally, you know, we are an hour show, and we have went way over, and it is, I guess, it's just a joy talking with Kat and Lori.
Yes.
It really is, and
Well,
and in the real world, we're pretty windy, so
Yeah.
true
we
that.
really-
I
so
don't know what you're talking about.
I can,
right. It doesn't matter. We just talk. So
We do.
we do.
I am going to, you know,
This is a rare treat.
Yes.
It really is. And I'm going to end the show here. And August 27th, get your ticket. Come experience what we're talking about here. And
You won't regret it.
No.
You'll be so glad you went.
Yep.
You will. And everybody that comes always wants to come back. And they do come back time and time again because you don't have to worry about, you know, people are so worried sometimes when they are going to go to a haunted place. Are they going to get hurt? Is it going to be something demonic? Is it, you know, that's what you don't have to worry about here.
No.
You know,
No.
it's just a really great experience to interact with the spirits. I'll just put it like that.
Absolutely.
And
And they are respectful.
Yeah.
they really are.
As long
And
as they're respectful, they're respectful.
Mhm.
Yes.
that's right. That's right. And I want to thank Kat and Lori for being on tonight, and Rhonda, my team member, for being on. And not only is she my team member, she's my cousin, and we're family in the real
Yeah.
world. And thank you, all my listening friends out there, for tuning in to this extra long broadcast tonight. But you know, you had to feel that all of us getting together would be a little long because I haven't broadcast for about a month now. We were
Catch
on
up day.
we were on vacay, so you know. So thank you, everyone. I want you all to have a great rest of your evening and a super fantastic weekend. Good night,
too.
friends.
Good night.
Night.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.